getting ready to install a roughly a 52-inch wide, 38-inch high old jalousie window. We're going to replace that with a newer Jeld-Wen vinyl window, single hung, that we got from Lowe's. And I'm trying to give you a look at what you have to do on the inside, because there's nothing online that shows this stuff, especially using fasteners and things like that. So you definitely have to break away the edges on the inside with a utility knife and scrape it away and break it away. And then I'm going to go to the outside and show you. And then you have to do some cleanup and make sure you have plenty of sealant so that you can do all the sealing. There's some extra, actually, grout here that somebody tried to use as a sealant on there, which is, of course, not a good sealant. And there's some holes that need to be filled. So I'm going to pause this video and go to the outside. It's a little dark still in the morning yet. This is the window from the outside in my son's room. The old 1963 jalousie or louver style with the old plate glass window. There's some gaps up here that the old installer didn't bother to either fill. There's holes here, stuccoed pretty much right over and up to the frame and on the window frame itself, which has to be chipped away and cleared out before I can push this old window out. And as I recommend, you should always have 2 people involved when you do that. There's lots of prep work to be done. Make sure you have plenty of sealant and people around to help you. And the right side of the window doesn't look so bad. And then you have to make sure that you clear out anything that debris, old caulk, stucco that might be in the way of replacing the window. Got the old jalousie style window, louver style window open. In all honesty, there's only about 4 screws, flathead common, just with a common with this lot. You can probably see here that these people actually stuccoed over the wood frame, over the aluminum frame, and didn't allow the window to close properly. You can see some stucco still stuck up there, and the other screw is up behind the jalousie mechanism there, which you can't hardly see right there, and it's loose and hanging out. And it looks like you have to take off the jalousie bar, movement bar, the control opening device to get to that screw, and that's probably why it's not installed. And there's only 2 other screws that I can find, and they're underneath right there. And I've loosened both of them. There seems to be 4, one on each side, one on the bottom left and bottom right. And so there's still quite a bit of prep work to be done. Still quite a bit of prep work to be done here. There's a lot of scraping that has to be done. And obviously there's stucco that needs to be taken off in order to remove the window. Okay, getting started to remove this window. Just some basic tools. I got an old workman curved knife for cutting out the old caulk, a linoleum knife, hammer of course, and a flat cold chisel. It's a 2.5, 3 inch wide, and of course a broom to clean my area off. Get an area started that you beat in with your chisel. It's a lot easier to go ahead and take your workman's knife and get it up there and start cutting away the old caulk that might be underneath some of your stucco, and whatever mortar mix it might have stuck in there to cover up any existing gaps or holes like this. And you just continue on around the window frame, and it's best to prep real well and get everything cleaned up before you proceed. If you can't get to everything, you might have to open the jalousie window itself, since the lip overhangs on some of the caulk or stucco or mortar that might be along the edges, and then take a flat chisel or even a screwdriver, thin screwdriver without running the screwdriver, and getting up underneath it. Yeah, I've gotten the left side scored out, cleaned out, as you can see, up to the top, and I've got these holes here. So this side's pretty much cleaned out. I know what's got to happen along the bottom. I can tell that this old style jalousie window was not put in from the bottom and then pushed in. It was slid up into the top and pushed in from the bottom, which kind of makes sense. I've scored the line, the caulk line up there, very small caulk line if any, to prove that that's how it was installed. Now I'm working on the right side, and as you can see, sometimes the windows themselves are offset, so I've got more of a gap on the right side of the window than I do the left, and I'm installing a non-fin window, so it's going to be a tight fit, but it should be good. Okay, now the window is ready to come out. I have my son clean up his room a little bit, and it's broken loose, and it's ready to come out. We're supposed to get rain tonight, later on this afternoon, so when you get ready to take out your window, you have to be ready to put your window back in with all the sealant and proper shims if necessary. So the window is ready to come out. We're going to clean up the inside of the windowsill and take it from there. My son is going to go ahead and clean the sill, and then we're going to scrape up any of the grout that's been left over here and make it very nice and clean, so, and get ready for the new window. Okay, I've got the window loose and ready to come out. You can see there's a drip edge there in the concrete. It's getting stuck, I think, on some stucco or some stuff that's in the way, so sometimes you have to take a hammer and a 2x4, and always pay very close attention when working glass. Not a big fan of glass. Okay, broken loose from the inside. Always you want to use extreme caution when dealing with glass. These little tools right here, these Wonder Bars, they are the bomb. Always wear safety glasses in case any glass breaks. If you're comfortable with gloves, you can wear those as well. This window pulls down, you pull out and down to get it out. This is the window out. Of course, I've only got 2 buck strips on each side, no buck strip across the top, which it should call for, so I can fix the Tapcons later. And it has a sash strip. That's the window as it looks, and here's the sash strip that went across the top of it, like that. Of course, with all older windows and older homes, I'm putting a new window in place of an older window that was put in the 60s. I had to trim this edge. I had to take a T-square, line up to about, I think it took about 1/4 inch. You run it here, you put your pencil on it, and then you drag it across to make an equal line across, or any other way that you know how to mark it. Then I took a pair of tin snips, and that's the beautiful thing about vinyl, and rounded the edges and then cut down 1/4 inch because it wouldn't fit up at the top where it's not quite plumb. Of course, there's no buckboard up at the top, so I'm going to have to probably come back and drive Tapcons up through the concrete without making a divot into the PVC or into the vinyl. There you have it, my friends. Window installed. Actually, I've got a few more fasteners I'd like to put in on the inside. All in all, you know, some cleanup, still caulking, but the bottom line is I had to end up getting the old Dremel Multimax out, you know, and trimming some areas that weren't quite square. And in the long run, not too bad. Some fiddling around, some trimming, which I'll take care of with my punch-out work with some caulk, and got a new window installed. All in all, from about start to where I'm at now, about 4 hours.